Hi, this is Matt.
Hey, I'm Bianca.
And we're from everybodyswing.com. And we're on day
I don't even know what day it
6,
is.
day 5
I have no idea.
of the swinger cruise, the couples cruise, and enjoying every moment of it.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Can't think of a bad time.
All right. Well, today we're talking with Eric and Tatiana.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. Yeah, Tatiana, that's a cool name. That's like one of those names like Bianca that's just like, it's a sexy name. Mm-hmm. So people are like, oh yeah, like before they meet you or anything, they're like, yeah, that's probably someone I want to have sex with.
They remember you.
That's
Pretty
right.
much.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, memorable thing is the thing too. I mean, we always make the joke about. Well, I make the joke continuously. Well, it works. Is that it's Matt and Bianca, and like we meet people, and they never remember my name at all, but they remember her, and so I just consider myself the guy with Bianca is how I introduce myself. So.
Yeah, we were at a speed dating, and I just wrote his name, Matt, in little letters, and then bigger I wrote the guy with Bianca. Because you always say it, I figure I might as well just put it out there.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So how many cruises is this for you? Is this number?
Lifestyle.
This is number 3 lifestyle cruise for us.
Okay, what were the other ones you were on?
They were just vanilla cruises.
Well,
They're the ones we don't go on anymore.
Right. Yeah,
Why would you?
and you never will again. You never will.
Not after these.
So this is number 3 lifestyle cruise?
This is number 3 lifestyle cruise.
Okay, and what were the other 2 lifestyle cruises you went on? You don't even remember?
Yeah, that was.
Oh, Mexican Riviera and the Independence.
Okay. Oh, the Independence, yeah. Okay. So, so differences between them, things you like, things you don't like?
Different cruise ships, different experiences.
Okay.
Major difference?
Mm-hmm.
The Riviera was our first one as just customers only, and now we're ambassadors.
Okay. Okay, so you're working with Couples Cruise now. Okay.
We are.
All right, so, okay, and so tell me about that. How does that work? Like, what does an ambassador
you give them
do?
35 hours, and they pay for your cruise.
Okay.
So it's time for money, basically.
Cool, that's awesome. Yeah, because we know quite a few people who do that and have done that in the past, and some have had good experiences and some haven't. But
Depends on the person.
sure, but primarily you guys are having a good time.
We're having a great time.
Okay.
It's probably great because you get to know a lot of people.
That's right.
Yeah, you're
You get to
forced
see everybody.
communicate. You know, if you're shy, it forces you to communicate. So it's actually a good coming out thing.
Yeah, because we actually
Especially if you're maybe new at cruising or the lifestyle or anything like that, it kind of, gets you into having conversations with people, which is difficult for a lot of people.
And,
Well-
and working at different areas of the cruise.
Sure. Well, we actually have some friends who work at actually she's wearing Club Sapphire their shirt. They're in Seattle, and they work that's bartenders. They volunteer as bartenders at the beginning of the night. Like they have like 2 shifts, and they're bartenders at the beginning of the night because everyone is forced to talk to them because they have to, get their alcohol drinks. They have to take their alcohol, put it in the fridge, that type of thing. And so the entire club meets them. And then the second half, when they're done working, then everybody's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And then they did very well in the playing because everyone knows them.
It's playtime, and everybody knows us. We have the magic gold shirts, or the yellow shirts. And everybody wants to either come up and ask us questions or know who we are.
Yeah.
Sure. So, do you have any weird stories about being ambassadors?
Well, where do we want to start?
This is what we want to hear.
Well,
It's usually
you
the
work a
playroom.
playroom for 4 hours, and there's 300 or 400 people in there. There's a lot of weird stories.
I always feel like with the ambassadors, you working in the playroom and that, after we're done in there, I always want to be give them something. You guys are awesome for doing this.
You're brave people.
Because I can't even imagine what they see here, what goes on, and that they're
Well, apparently
always
you
really
can.
good.
You're already thinking it. And everything you're thinking is true.
Yeah. Well, and everybody's always really good about sanitizing everything and quickly, getting people in and out and that kind of stuff. So always
Well, we have to be. Part of
Yeah.
being on the cruise is people don't want to wait. When
Right.
they want to play now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we try and get in there and clean it all up and get the next party in there, and get the party started and keep the party moving.
Usually the last night is the worst night.
Oh.
So people are figure that they don't have a room and we gotta hurry up and make it happen in the playroom.
Yeah.
And we will turn on the lights
The last
after
two
we're
are off.
done, and we will like have to roll them off beds, and then they go from bed to couch, and we're like, we need a squirt bottle.
You're done.
Like, we need a squirt bottle.
This cruise in particular has been the last night since the first day.
Oh,
What is
okay.
it?
This playroom has been jam-packed since the day it
Yeah.
opened, and it hasn't hardly let up since.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, we closed
I can't
it down
even
one
imagine
night.
what the last night is going to be because
Yeah. Well, we've always said on the last night, a lot of people are like haven't played all week, and now they're like, we gotta find someone. Yeah, so the
Oh,
last
yeah, and
night
they're-
is like,
They're on the hunt. Yeah, absolutely. No, the last night, there's a lot of people that I wouldn't say desperation is the right word, but it's just one of those things. It's like, oh my gosh, we're running out of time. Either we haven't played or we haven't played enough, or this is our last chance to play before we have to go back to the real world. And they're like walking around quickly around the ship, just like talking to people that they haven't talked to at all the whole week because they really, really want to get some.
it is one of the things that we talk to people that ask us about how does this work. You know, we're new. This is our first time. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we'll try and tell them is, you know, get out there and put yourself out there early and start making those decisions to if you want to play or who do you want to play with and get that done early. Otherwise, you're going to do exactly what you said. And it's going to be the last minute and yeah.
We always recommend speed dating the first day on board because
Right.
that's when you meet a lot of people and you just start communicating.
yep.
As many activities as you can to meet people because there is just a ton of them on board. And so you want to take advantage of those.
Yeah, I found, I could be wrong, but it seems on this cruise, this is number 5 for us, that there have been more meet and greets than there usually are. Is that the case, or am I just?
I think
paying
you're right.
attention?
I'm noticing a lot more meet and greets. We have a huge international crowd here.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason is to get them out there.
Yeah, and actually today was the first time in any cruise we've ever been on that they had a Pacific Northwest meet and greet, which was
Right.
great.
It was great.
I
Very
mean,
cool.
we knew, I wouldn't say we knew probably about 2/3 of the people there already, but there were another third we didn't. So that whole Vancouver crowd that you know, all the pervy Canadians that are.
Pervy Canadian. We've met some yummy pervy Canadians. Big shout out to the pervy
I don't know.
Canadians.
I don't know what's with the Canadians. It's funny because there's some places that just keep coming up as like super pervy. It's just Canada in general, and then of course Ohio. Yeah. So we busted up. Yeah, Ohio.
Well, these are places that are covered in snow for 10
This
months
is
of the
true.
year.
Yeah.
They really want to get their freak on when the sun is out.
I mean the playrooms that has to be kind of you have to go in pretty brave working those.
Well, you've worked a playroom before.
I did. I worked a playroom at the local club once, closing shift. Okay, so I was one of the people that stood by the door and made sure people didn't bring alcohol back in the sex area and that looking like a big security big brute that I am, and then of course when it was over, then I had to do the cleanup, and it was me and 2 other volunteers. Man, the white gloves came on.
White gloves?
Oh, it was
Or blue
the
gloves.
blade. Yeah, the big old.
Going through.
The green gloves that go up to your elbow.
Yeah.
So we were talking to someone one of the nights about that, and we were talking about that you need those little like picker-uppers.
We never actually have
I've seen people with them.
Yeah.
When on the closing, when they were closing and we were still in there, I saw someone with the picker-uppers.
Because there were.
We have condom freaks.
Yeah, no, I mean that was one thing I'll forget. There were just so many condoms that were just like here, or even like there's a garbage can and 1 foot away is a condom lying there. It's like really your arm didn't stretch a little bit further to
For
do
people
that.
that can't see it, can't imagine it, they take that lounge and they do it up really nice with the curtains and all the beds. I mean, it's really done up nice.
It really is.
It's nicer than most clubs we've ever been in.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
do a great
And
job.
there are trash cans everywhere. The trash cans have lights in them, little tea lights.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Oh, that's
they
cool.
can be seen.
That's cool.
And somehow we can't, we still can't
Well, I
manage
think
to get the
sometimes
condom in the
if you're
trash can.
using more than, like in the play area, if you're using more than one condom, they can get, unless you're like, okay, I'm going to stick this right here in this pile. I mean, he's lost clothes constantly. He loses socks and
That is
whatever.
kind of weird. You
I don't, because whatever I take off, now I don't even wear panties to the playroom because I don't even want to risk losing them. I wear like a nightie and that's it, because you can't wear clothing into the playroom, no street clothes. So I'm like, I don't even want to lose anything, so I'll wear one piece of clothing. It's easy to take off, and if I can't find it, well, fuck.
Yeah, that's something that we were talking about too. It's weird girls have it easy. Girls can just wear like a bra and panties or whatever they want to do. They can just walk around in their sexy costume and they can go into the playroom. But guys generally are wearing more clothes. So we either have to go back to our room and grab like a robe, which I don't have. I don't bring one because my robes at home are like really big and bulky, and that doesn't work for bringing them all the way to the other side of the country. And so generally it works out to me wearing my clothes to the playroom, taking off my clothes, and putting them into a big plastic garbage bag, which is the sexiest thing to be carrying around. I'm walking around in my underwear and a towel, and I just have this big old black garbage bag I'm carrying around. Hello, ladies. Yeah. So I was thinking that's something that definitely people should add to their list of things to bring is just a nice bag to replace the garbage bag. I mean, if I have to go into the playroom, that I have just some sort of carry thing,
Sex
like
bag.
like a big old man purse or something.
A man purse.
A backpack.
Yeah.
Sure. Backpack. That sounds cooler. Okay. Yeah. Oh, totally. Big camo or something. That's right.
Well, a lot of times we'll see the recommendation to bring like a bathrobe.
Mm-hmm.
And on certain cruises we've been on, they give you a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know in previous ones, and I hadn't seen it on this, they gave you a bathrobe if you did something or if you had a...
They sold bathrooms.
Was it they sold them, or it was a more expensive room, or something like that? I don't remember what it was because
No,
I'd
they
see the
just
people
sold
with the
them.
couples cruise robes
Yeah.
on, but I don't think I've seen that on this one.
On a certain cruise, I think it was Royal Caribbean,
They have them in your
they
room.
would give them to you in your room, and then if you kept them at the end of the cruise,
You get charged.
they charge you for it. So,
Right.
but other than that, it was free to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so nice
Super convenient
because
for going to the playroom.
yeah, because that's been a problem that's been kind of, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but it's just so awkward carrying that plastic bag around, and I'm carrying it through the playroom, and I'm like, okay,
It's
I
like
gotta
crunch,
find a
crunch,
spot for
crunch.
it.
Yeah, everybody hears you.
Oh well, and the last time we were in the playroom,
Yeah.
that we ended up at the very first room. Like when you walk in, the very first play area, which is right next door to where everybody changes. So all you can hear is the crunching and the giggling and the ha ha ha. I'm like Santa over and over and over. And it was just like, it was the shy. And then people would be like peeking in the curtains, what's going on in here? Like, what do you think is going on in here?
That's right. So that's a recommendation. Never use the bed that's right closest to the
use
front
it
door.
If it's the last one
Well,
available, but don't make it your first choice.
don't make it your first choice because that was very loud. Right, just this constant of the plastic bags, which is sexy. Which is
And you
sexy.
can hear everybody
Truly.
coming in and all the conversations.
So you guys just couldn't wait to get into the playroom.
Well, okay, no, we were with a couple that had never been into it. It was their first cruise and they'd never been in the playroom, and we let them. Didn't even take the tour,
So that
they
was
walked
far-
in and we let them choose where to go, and they just
Yeah,
were like,
they
"Oh, here's a good spot."
That was as far as they were willing to go.
Yeah, in hindsight, we should have been like, "Oh, let's move a little further into the just
Well,
the
in
distance."
movies, they like to go to the dark area
Yeah.
because they're a little bit more comfortable where it's dark.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Those playrooms are cool. I mean, they do a phenomenal job. I mean, that I would say that's. Boy, there's so many good things that Couples Cruise does right. I know that's one thing that Bob, one of the owners of Couples Cruise, really talks about a lot, is that he's the most proud of, is just how cool the playrooms are, because they're big and they're
They
efficient.
make you feel comfortable. And I've never noticed that there's a problem with temperature.
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt freezing when I went in there, or too warm or anything. Like, I don't know if that's something conscious that they think about, but there are areas of this ship where I walk through and I'm freezing and I'm like, I need to get a cup of coffee now. But I've never noticed that in the
It
playroom.
does get warm in there.
Well, it's funny
When
actually.
you're
You've been in there
working,
working?
you do get warm.
Yeah.
But not when
Pouring
of course,
sweat
when
after
you're
4
playing, you do get warm too.
You're doing it
Yeah,
right.
it's good.
No,
When
actually-
you're done, it's nice and comfortable because now you can cool off.
Right. We were actually, there was a business meeting the other day that Bob was in charge of, and he was talking about the playrooms and what he does to make them look good and sound good and smell good as well. That's a big deal, because we've been in some playrooms at places that are just really,
You walk in,
really,
you're like, ooh, it smells like
pe-
sex.
people are having sex in here. Wow. And he was talking about the specifics of the scent diffusers that he buys,
didn't even know
There's some, like, aromatherapy
the
things in
aromatherapy
there.
that's going on. And he went and he personally tried like 40 different scents to see which one he liked the best and which would work against sex smells and all that kind of stuff. And the one that coincidentally ironically he ended up with is actually called Butt Naked.
That's funny.
So, in case you're looking for a specific scent that you like in your sex room, use Butt Naked.
But,
I don't know the
I mean,
brand. So.
And Febreze.
Just that he thinks about those little details really makes a great trip. It
A
really
lot of
does.
work that goes into this. So we just came out of the staff appreciation meet and greet, and there was 94 staff members
94
to make this cruise happen.
Wow.
So,
And
That's
I think
awesome.
there were 2,400 people on board, something like that. So, yeah, okay. So you guys have a pretty good job to do. So how does how do like the shifts work and all that, as far as what you need to do like
They're spread
8 hours
out.
at a time, or
No, they're spread out. You can have an hour, and then later on in the evening you might have 3 hours.
okay.
And then you'll have a day and a half off, and then you'll do another, hour and maybe 3 hours.
So has a shift ever like gotten in the way of like you're like meeting this hot couple and you're like,
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But now we've learned.
I'll see
to
you guys
work
in 7 hours after I'm tired.
Now we've learned to work in our advantage. We use them as here's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're roving the pool deck, so my play dates are going to find me on the pool deck sometime while I'm working, and we'll figure out, okay, so what are we doing now? That allows them to go do whatever they want to do, and then when they finally find me or her, she has her play dates too. We use it as a convenience thing.
Sure.
Or maybe we're going to be working in a hot tub or working in a club. Meet a lot of ladies in the club after. Meet me here between this hour and this hour, and I guarantee you, you know what? These people, when they say they're going to be somewhere, they will come find you.
Yeah, because I know actually that happened to me when I was that volunteer at that club. I was, like I said, I was the second half of the night, and the first half of the night, I'm standing by the door, and this really hot couple that we played with once before at home came up, and they're like, we haven't never been to this club, and hey Matt, how you doing? And the wife is super hot. And Bianca wasn't there that night, so I figured I'd volunteer and I'd get to see the place. This was the first time I was in the club. And then this other girl who is this beautiful unicorn who we played with once before was there as well. And so there were 3 of us, and it was these 2 absolutely gorgeous women. And I'm talking to them at the beginning of the night and having a great old time, and they're getting hot and heavy, and I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I gotta go stand by that door until closing. And so I went and stood by the door, and they're still talking to each other, and then the 3 of them go off into a room, and I'm like, son of a bitch, this would have been awesome.
The hours sometimes they get a little bit varied to where
3 o'clock in the morning, you're done. You're like, do you know how to play?
It's time for bed now.
and we're regular passengers as well. When we're not working, we're playing, or we might be out taking an excursion. So sometimes working a 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. shift, and then trying to get up and get off the ship the next morning.
A little hard.
It's a little hard, your eyes are a little red, and you're
You
kind of
sleep on
groggy.
the plane.
That's what he always says.
And then you jump back
don't
on.
recuperate.
Yeah.
So do you ever have? are you ever policing people as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You can do that in a nice way too, though. And everything we do, personally for us, we try and gear this so that people are having fun. I can go up and tell somebody that they're doing something wrong in a way that they don't feel like, oh my God, I'm doing something really wrong. You're going to go to ship jail.
The brig,
Certain rules like no nudity in the dining room.
right?
Some people just forget about where they are and are having such a great time that they walk into the dining room naked, or they walk into the buffet naked because they've been having sex for the last 3 hours and they're really, really hungry. And putting on clothes is not a priority.
Right.
And I could jump in their face and say, I'm taking you to ship jail. But I do things like, well, she's smiling because she knows. I do things like say, hey, I really appreciate what you've got here and you look fantastic, but the rules are we can't have that in the dining room. So how about instead of getting in trouble by some really mean, nasty ship people, you go back out on the pool deck or back down to your cabin or wrap it up in a towel and then come on in. Because if you make me any more trouble, I'm going to have to send you to my room. You should see the line of women outside of my room. These girls are starting to misbehave on purpose.
Yeah. But people get carried away. hot tub especially. Drinking water. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. The worst thing I've had to do is just take somebody that was they were so trash that they really needed to go back to their room. And they really wanted to play with me. And I just, no, sorry.
No, there's that level of drunk before you're like, all right. Yeah. If you're not going to be conscious during the sex time,
I told her.
You remember my name?
Well, that's I never rely on that one because again, nobody ever remembers my name.
On the ship you get a lot of that. Oh, what was your name again?
Yeah. Oh no, we've had that conversation. We've had that conversation many times. We played with a couple and then we're like, what was that couple's name?
Or we'll remember one but not the other. And like if I remember the guy's name and he doesn't remember the girl's name, I'm like, sorry, I don't have to remember her name. I didn't fuck her.
Well, we do name association. Like we don't even remember half the names, but I think I played with Jamie Lee Curtis and Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Just go by what celebrity they look the most like.
What do they look like?
But I think a lot of people in the lifestyle understand that we don't always remember everybody's names, and I've never had anybody take offense to it. So,
now, as long as you say hi, you do it with a smile.
Hey, you!
Hey, you! Looking good today. Well, but
If you get lucky, somebody will usually throw their name out or be wearing a little name
the beads,
necklace like this on a
those
cruise.
are
So
helpful.
have you guys run into, now that you've been on a couple of these cruises, like people that you've had sex with in the past and you don't remember them? Because we've actually...
I'm really good. I usually remember even faces, not names, but I remember faces. So good and bad, I remember faces.
We've run into that. We've actually run into that a couple of times where there was someone where like, she's like, who is that? They look really familiar. I'm like, yeah, you had sex with them.
We haven't run into
but it was but it was like 5 years ago and we forgot about it.
Yeah, I remember that.
We're pretty selective about who we're having sex with, so we tend to remember who we've had sex with, but we may not remember people that were in the vicinity of the sex we were having, and sometimes a helping hand was offered or something else happened.
Yeah.
And, I don't remember. I don't recall.
If you haven't officially met them. We've had experiences where we've been in bed with,
half a dozen
couple,
people,
and then another couple in the playroom would come up and stand around and watch, and then try to get in there.
And sometimes succeed. And
sometimes they succeed. But if they do succeed, we don't necessarily know. We're never introduced.
Well, we never introduce them, and we're not seeing them in the dark. So it's like, we see them at breakfast the next morning, they're like, hey guys. We're like, hey, how you doing?
Oh, that's a friendly couple.
Yeah,
How did we meet them?
You had his penis in your mouth last night. And you're like, oh, right.
Sometimes in doing your job, you get involved with things you don't remember, but other people remember it a lot. Like people having sex on 2 mattresses at one time, you're laying right there when you need to change the sheets on one. And I really didn't remember it, but I guess some lady was going at it with a guy, and her legs were laying across the other mattress that I needed to change the sheets on. And I just picked her legs up, changed the sheets underneath her, and didn't think anything of it.
Right back to it.
Got the next couple on the mattress and kept the party rolling. Well, the next day she remembered me up in the buffet. Hey, you were the guy that picked my legs up in the air last night. Of course they don't say it in a inside voice. It's loud enough to where everybody's like, wow, yeah, you picked her legs up? Good job, buddy.
Yeah, we ran into that a few years ago where we were in the playroom on one of the early cruises, and we're with 4 or 6 other people on the bed. And I don't know if I've told the story in the podcast before, but it just cracks me up. And we're playing with this group of people on the bed, and we're kind of finishing up. And there's, a super hot blonde girl who's with us, and she's just, she's having a good time. She's like, excuse me, guys, I got to go use the restroom. I'll be back in a couple minutes. And so she leaves, and then a couple minutes later, blonde girl comes up, and she just joins in, and she just starts going down on Bianca, just going crazy, and she starts climbing on over, and she's climbing on over everybody, and just having a good old time. And suddenly this man comes behind her and goes, come on, honey, and grabs her and pulls her away. And we're like, wait, that wasn't the same blonde girl. There's just some random woman just joining the fun.
Thank you.
It's like, wait a minute. So it's like, if that lady, we would have seen her the next, I mean, I have no idea what I remember her hair color, but that's all I knew, and she probably did
The
so.
one thing we hear the most in playroom, after people get done playing, big old pile of people, and they all stand up.
Yeah. What's your name?
What's your name?
What's her name again?
Hi, nice. So it was really fun playing you. By the way, what was your name?
Yeah. A lot of that.
This is a very friendly ship, so
Yes.
a lot of introductions getting made after the fact.
That's the one thing I love about these cruises and about the lifestyle is how friendly everyone is. You know, we go on these cruises and we don't do a lot of vacations that aren't lifestyle. And when we do, we appreciate these so much more because, we'll go to dinner and, I mean, we say this all the time about cruises, but when we go to dinner, we try to sit somewhere different every night. We tend not to get involved in the cliques. Like, we'll hang out with, people and kind of flit around the ship. Because we want to meet as many people as possible. But we can have, not every night is a success at dinner. We get there and, we just seat us at a big table with a bunch of random people.
Yes.
And sometimes you can have the most amazing conversations and meet the coolest people. Like, everybody is so friendly here. It's hard to run into people that are grouchy
That's
when we're
what
fucking all day.
I like that because outside of this, you won't see people that are a little bit bigger size talking with the little, Barbie girl. They don't do that outside of this. But here, they just are all over. The young ones,
Making
the
play
older
dates.
ones, and everything. Everybody just goes and flows.
And the conversations, like, it's so... we were talking about this. We went to a toy seminar where they talked about toys, and we were talking about the fact that it was so interesting to hear a lot of the men talking about prostate.
Yeah, that's something
What do
that
we
really
call it?
doesn't come up too often.
Anal and that kind of stuff. And it was just like, he was like, it was just kind of weird listening to guys talk about that they like this and what kind of toys they like and what kind of lube they like. And I was like, you can't talk about that stuff with your buddies over a beer. This is a safe environment where you're going to find other people that are into what you're into, and you can have a conversation about what lubes you like better or what toys and why and that kind of stuff. And
It's
I
never
think it's great.
politics or religion hardly ever come up.
Oh yeah.
No, even with everything that's going on in the world right now, if people talk in your vanilla world, like the conversation about politics is like every single conversation. It's like
Right.
nobody cares.
This
Nobody
is
cares.
sanctuary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
absolutely.
is sanctuary from anything bad.
Most you usually don't even know that people do in their regular life.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
don't. It doesn't go there.
Yeah.
It just goes on. Are you having a fun? What are you doing? What do you like? And you want to go play.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It becomes based on the laws of attraction, which
Yes.
is great.
So
I go back to that thing you were saying about cliques. It's almost hard to be cliquey on this shit because the cliques don't stay together. It's very small groups of people. Unlike your local club, you can have an entire clique over here and a group
Yeah.
over here. It kind of gets broken up because everybody wants to mingle and meet something new on this ship, and we do the same thing there. You guys do. I get mad when we get seated at a table for 2 or even for 4 because.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell.
He'll
They've
say no.
tried to do that, and I'll say no.
No.
I want to be at a table of 10, please.
Here's
And
where
they're
I
like,
sit
oh,
and have a
yeah,
meal with just
10,
me.
12.
I can talk to
We
her
got
any
seated.
other day of the year.
We got seated at
Breakfast
a
on
table with a couple that spoke absolutely no English.
Fun.
It was awkward. And,
Yeah.
dinner on a cruise ship takes a while, so it's
Yes.
2 hours of awkward silence.
Yeah.
Smiling.
And 2 couples
Smiling.
smiling and talking to each other.
Good.
Fork. So as ambassadors, do they have a hard time getting ambassadors on these ships, or is it something that people are lining up
a lot
to do?
of people, they usually have about 70% of this regular usuals, but he likes to have like
30% new
30%
blood.
of new ones that come in because some of the ones they won't go to everyone, and they like to have a good group that already know the procedures
Right.
to teach the young, anybody coming in. So have a really good turnaround.
Okay.
If you've seen the ambassadors, we have a mix of everything from older couples all the way down to
The new,
right at the brink of 21, 22 years
Yeah.
old. So,
Yeah.
and the younger couples attract the younger people, and so it really works out. A lot of people we know, once they do this once, they come back and they want to do it again and again and again.
Sure.
yeah. Some of them actually, they will only work like maybe 12 hours, so they'll pay a little bit of their cruise.
Oh,
So they
okay.
can get a little bit, so they have that Friday.
Oh, okay.
So there's options.
Yeah, because I know one complaint that people, some people we've run into back home have is just the sheer cost of getting on one of these cruises. I mean, it's definitely much more expensive than a vanilla cruise. I mean, it's leaps and bounds better.
Way worse.
Once you go on one of these, you're never going to go on a
Yes.
vanilla cruise again.
Right.
But it's still in the thousands of dollars. Excluding your flight to get here and spending money
Hotel,
on booze, yeah.
booze.
So that if that's a good way to bring the price down is just by helping out. That's a way to do it. And like I said, meeting people. I
Yeah.
mean, just the sheer advantage of that.
win-win.
Especially if you're introverted, because I know that's also a problem that we talk to people about, and either one of them or both of a couple is very introverted. They're so afraid to talk to others. I guess if you're in a shirt and people have to kind of come to you, and you can I think you get an extra bit of courage if you've got your little yellow shirt on, that because you're kind of like the cop around here, making sure people aren't doing things in the hot tubs. So
You guys know how introverted I am, so.
oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
But there's a lot of them out there that are usually, one is the very, very quiet one. So it really helps.
Yeah, yeah.
It really helps.
the couple that did the speed dating, that's a good example. They only wanted to do the speed dating,
Okay.
and so they paid for most of their cruise and then got just a huge discount. So because they still wanted to be part of the team,
Okay.
and
And so that's all they did was the speed dating?
just the speed dating, and so they gave them all the speed dating
Sure.
because that's what they wanted to do.
Huh.
And
That's kind of cool.
he is super quiet, and she does all the talking. So
Yeah.
she was the one doing all the
Yeah,
announcing.
she was.
Yeah.
But like I said, people want to come back, and the only thing we ever hear is, we know there's probably a dozen people on this ship that we've worked with before
Yeah.
that this time they just wanted to enjoy the whole vacation. So that's the only drawback, is it does cut into your time, and there are days that you would just want to lay out on the pool deck and just chill out and
Right.
Well,
relax.
I don't remember if it was you I was talking to or someone else, but they were saying that it's kind of nice that it like breaks up your day.
Yeah,
It gives
I
you
like
something
that.
to do. Was it you? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's.
I just can't. I just can't hang by the pool for hours. And
Yeah.
hours. I can't do it. I can't do it. I like to go too much. So.
Yeah. I'm the same, and then I end up getting to the point where it's like, oh, there's nothing to do for a few hours. Might as well take a nap. Because we've hung out at the pool, I think maybe twice this entire trip so far. It's almost over. Because we're just not sit and hang out by the pool people. We're sit and burn in the sun people.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So
Yeah.
like we'll hang out by the pool for usually 2 hours is about all we can handle. And then I'm just not the type of person that can sit still and relax like that for too long. I just gotta go.
Yeah.
And so we'll go and wander around, or I'll be like, all right, let's go eat and then nap. I need to. So yeah, we've only been at the pool twice because we like
actually-
wandering
we
around.
haven't even
but-
been at by the pool at all.
Well, speak for yourself.
Okay, you have.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just not a big pool person.
Yeah.
I'd rather go walk forever.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of nice.
I feel like I'm
because you
missing
just kinda,
something because there's so much to do on here.
Well,
It's
there
like, I'm
is.
missing this, I'm
There are a lot of
missing
meet and
that.
greets, or you could just go to the bar, a bar. There's like I don't know how many bars there are on board, but there's you walk down the hallway and there's like 3 in a row. You could just go bar hop all day and.
No, I don't drink so.
Well, but no, just even wandering from bar
Yeah.
to bar, just
Yeah.
there's always people in a bar, and you just you can meet new people that way.
Yeah, and every group kind of claims a bar.
Mm-hmm.
You have this one has this one's over here. So
Yeah.
Well, depending on who's sponsoring stuff too. So.
Sure.
Cool. And I assume we're going to see you on future cruises. Then it seems like you
Oh,
like them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We really like
we want to
doing
try
this.
the Not in New Orleans. We
Yeah.
want to work that this
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll
cool.
be our first time there
Yeah,
too.
we'll be there
so,
too.
and
Looking
and
forward to
actually,
it.
if you want to join us at Naughty in New Orleans or on a future cruise, all you have to do is just go to everybodyswing.com/travel. And that has all of these upcoming cruises and trips, and there's more being added all the time, which is kind of awesome. So, and of course, make sure you follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter username is everybodyswing1. That's everybody swing.
And the number one.
And the number 1, very good. She's finally memorized
Finally,
it.
I've had it memorized for a while. I use that every time.
Yeah. And if you ever have any questions, anything like that, feel free to email us.
At info@everybodyswing.com.
Perfect. You're getting so good at this. Look at this. It only took
Sexy
5 years.
It didn't take 5 years. You just always say it. And then
Yeah.
you think it's funny to try and like test me,
You're paying.
You pass.
but I pass.
Good for you. Well, thank you so much, Eric and Tatiana, for joining us
Yes,
today.
thank you so much.
I hope this wasn't too unbearable for you.
Never.
The pause, never. Awesome. Anything else you want to say?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah, rehydrate if you've been
For many reasons.
if you've been drinking a lot of alcohol, or if you've been doing a lot of cardio,
playrooms.
a lot of cardio. Yeah.
It's Matt. What thought goes through your head when a dude unleashes a monster dong and lays into Bianca? Well, I guess that proves my point over that you can ask us anything.
Yeah.
You know,